Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wake Up Legendary. Happy Monday. My name's Joanne. I am here from the marketing department here at Legendary Marketer, and I'm so excited to host today's episode. I'm super stoked about our guest this morning. I'll bring him on here in a second, but first, if you are new and joining us, definitely be sure to grab our notifications. You can get a text notification every morning when we go live. It is the only text you'll get at this number, so you won't get spammed or anything like that. And you'll just text WUL to 813-296-8553, and we will shoot you a quick notification when we go live Monday through Friday. So be sure to do that if you have not already done so. All right, today's guest, I'm going to bring him on, is Leo. Welcome to the show, Leo. We're so excited to have you.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, definitely. So I know you're newer on this journey and all of that, but share with us a little bit why you started even thinking about this path, where, share a bit of your story with us this morning.
No problem. So I've been in the media and events industry for 20 plus years, and live events obviously took a beating during the pandemic, with many of them not happening. And last year, in 2020, it was brutal, but in 2021, it felt like it was going to get better, but it didn't seem to be getting any better. So I had been toying around with different online businesses in the past, from Amazon to various other things, and marginal success here and there. And I came across a video on TikTok from one of the legends, and it was very interesting to me. And I jumped on it and started learning more about it. Took the 15-day business challenge back in, I think it was October or November of last year. Okay. And went through that and said, wow, this is pretty cool. This is very different. This is a different kind of company that's doing this. And I also found that affiliate marketing for me personally was a good fit, because I've got a sales background and it's also a marketing background. So to be able to do that, to be able to market and sell other people's products that I didn't have to create or source or find, to me just seemed like the right fit. So I jumped on it. I bought the blueprints, and I also went to the mastermind in December in Orlando and didn't look back.
Awesome. So you went through the challenge in October, mastermind in December.
Yep.
What did you do between starting the challenge and attending mastermind? And then what changed after you went to mastermind?
Well, so it was a huge learning curve for me, just to kind of get up to speed with social media, because I was not a huge social media person. I toured with Facebook just to see what my friends from high school were doing in the past, and just kind of like people my age. I'm in my 50s, so that was kind of our social media. My daughter, who's 17, used to laugh at me because I started asking her about helping me on TikTok, and giving me some advice, which she laughed at, like I think most teenage daughters or sons do to their parents when they say they want to make TikTok videos. But I started just building my channel. I got it up and running, started posting really bad videos back in like November. Maybe got a little bit better as I went along in December. And then I went to the mastermind and learned some of the great things that some of the other legends were doing. And realized that I don't have to try to figure everything out and be the expert, and to be able to see what others are doing and to try to mimo that, to make it my own. I thought for me, it was a light bulb that went off, and I said, whoa, I can do that. And that will help me understand what kind of content works well, and maybe I can put my own spin on it. And that's really what I was doing, is really building my TikTok channel to try to learn how to bring the traffic to the offer.
Right. Okay. I love that. So I saw on the questionnaire that I'm going to ask you about,
Sure,
the board breaking exercise at
yeah.
So share with our audience a little bit about that and what you really took away from that.
Yeah. So at the mastermind, I didn't know what to expect. I've been to Tony Robbins, various Tony Robbins programs, and so I had an understanding of kind of what I might expect, but the mastermind was really eye-opening and a great experience. Being with other folks who are already doing this, who are really successful, and then newbies like myself who are in the room learning and getting an understanding. We all had our kind of our limiting values or limiting beliefs, and for me, it was fear of failure. And I've been through a number of different types of online businesses that had marginal success, and I think that was one of my biggest beliefs, is that I can't do this, or I'm too old to do TikTok videos, or this is something I'm just going to fail at. And for me, it was about getting through that fear of failure, and breaking through that at the mastermind was like walking on the hot coals at a Tony Robbins event. So being able to take that board, write my limiting belief, which was fear of failure, and then smashing it to pieces was really powerful for me. And I know from a lot of other folks that I've spoken to that were at the mastermind, that was really powerful for them as well. And it's something I still have. I have it framed in my office upstairs, and it's something that I've used in videos. Matter of fact, I think I made a video that same or next day that I was in Orlando with the little clip for me breaking the board, and it was powerful for me. And it's something that I know a lot of folks struggle with. Is we're new at this. We don't really understand exactly what we're doing. The 15-day business challenge walks you through it, and then when you go through the blueprints, it takes you even deeper. But you're still new, and you're still figuring it out, and you're afraid you're going to fail, or you're afraid you're just not good enough to do it. And what you find out is that anyone can do this business. You just have to be consistent with it.
Right. Okay. So are anybody sitting there right now going, yes, I have the fear of failure. Yes, he's speaking to me right now.
Yeah.
So we all can talk about it, but
Yeah.
actually putting into action how to overcome that, what really helped you take action? Because you can
Sure.
talk about, I'm going to break the board, I'm going to smash through this, but until you're ready to really do, what do you think helps you keep doing it? And when you start having that thought creep back in your mind,
Yeah.
right?
Go through
How do
the valley of despair, as Brian Brewer would say.
Mhm.
Yeah. For me, it was really about looking around at some of the other folks that were successful in this business. I forget the young lady's name. I think her name was Sarah. She was 20 some odd years old. And, she started doing this and just rocking it so fast. And then you see, basically people of all ages, races, color, it doesn't matter, like, who are successful at this. And I said, well, if they can be successful at this, so can I. And I think that's what kept me going, is realizing that there are other people who are doing this and being successful at doing it. And the only difference between them and me is that they're doing it. And so for me, that was like, I said, damn, I just got to keep doing what they tell us to do in the 15-day business challenge and in the blueprints, and
Right.
actually work the plan. And once you work the plan, holy smokes, you start making sales and you start getting customers. You start talking to people who are in the same place or the same exact situation that you were in, and you're saying, I was there. I know exactly what you're going through. Let me help you, because I was exactly in the same place as you were. I was the believer who all these things are a scam. I was the believer that only the people who are at the top make the money, and that is just not the case. And so, I think the other big thing for me was getting my first commission, which happened about, I think, 35 or 40 days in
Mhm.
making TikToks, and getting that first commission. I think the first one was like $3, but then I get the large commission that was 5 figures, and you're like, holy smokes, this really does work. And that I think that's what kept me going, is realizing that this can work if you just stick with it and work the plan.
Right. Okay. So obviously there's no promises of income. So I want to
Nope.
make sure we have that claim at this point. Um, but talk to me a little bit about, so you're starting to make TikToks. What's your process to come up with ideas, content, and stay consistent?
Yeah, so for me, what I do is every morning I built a studio here in my basement. It was a large closet that turned into a music studio, and now is my studio for creating TikTok. But what I do is I come down here and I go through TikTok and I look at all of the best folks in affiliate marketing. So there's ways to sort. As we all know, there's a snap tick, or not
Right.
snap tick. sort for TikTok.
Right.
And so I look at the biggest producers in our industry in affiliate marketing, and I look at some of the things that they've done that have been successful with the algorithm of TikTok. And then I write those all down. I come up with what my hook is, that beginning part, figure out what my story is around that subject matter, and then figure out just the call to action at the end. And so what I've done is I've tried to maintain 2 or 3 videos, but trying to do 3 every day, which is a motivational, which is usually a duet from somebody else that it resonated with me for whatever reason, mostly about, believing in yourself, about small business. And the next one is about affiliate marketing, specifically trying to answer a question around affiliate marketing. And then the third one is usually something about, getting out of the rat race of the 9 to 5 and breaking free of that rat race. So those are typically my kind of 3 pinnacles of how I create content. And for me, again, what I learned at the mastermind is I don't have to be the expert at creating that content. I can look to find what's successful out there and try to duplicate that in my own way. And that to me was really powerful, because coming up with content ideas is not easy. And it's something that, I think a lot of folks struggle with, and the reason why a lot of folks don't stay consistent with it. So that's how I create my content every day.
Right. Well, and also I think, and definitely speak to this on your thoughts on it, some people aren't consistent because they're expecting a quick return. Oh,
Sure.
I made 3 videos. I didn't get a commission. I didn't see, my leads. I didn't get all these notifications of new leads. So I am terrible. I'm out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So how do you keep going and not to play the long game? This is a marathon, not a sprint.
Exactly.
That kept you moving and producing, even though you weren't seeing immediately within, a day, those early results.
Yeah. Again, I think for me, it was about breaking my limiting belief, which was the fear of failure, and knowing by looking at all of these other folks who were doing it. I follow a few folks that are very similar in age as me, that had jobs that they hated and are succeeding at this in a big way. And so I think for me, the thing that kept me going was saying to myself, these folks did it while they had a full-time job. Some of them still have a full-time job, and they're still doing it, and they're making 6+ figures
Right.
from doing this, because I see them on the scoreboard. And I'm just saying, man, if I could just stay consistent with this and continue to do the steps that have been taught, I can succeed at this as well. And again, my first commission happened, 45+ days in, or 50 days in. But I know that what I'm growing here is a business, not a short term, get rich quick. I'm trying to build something that's long term. And I think if folks remember the fact that this is something that we're building a long term business for, and not just trying to get quick hits,
Right.
even though the quick hits feel good, those quick hits really are what's building that long term business for you. And I think that's the thing that I kept in mind, is that I'm not looking at this short term, I'm looking at this long term. And I've always seen this, and I think it was said in the mastermind, people get into these businesses and they just say, oh, I'm going to make $10,000 in my first month. And then they get upset because they only made, $1,000 in their first month, or not
Right.
even. And what I've seen is people say, if you can just put your head down, commit to this business for a minimum of 6 months to a year, you'll never go back to your 9 to 5 job again. And for me, that was super powerful. And after 3 months, I stopped my full-time job, and this is what I do full-time. So it can happen. It is a reality. And really that for me, that was so powerful.
All right, we got to take a moment. Folks, did you hear that? He has left his 9 to 5, which was 50+ hours a week away
Yep.
from time. What has that meant to you and your family and your life at this point?
Whoa. So again, one of the reasons why I wanted to do something like this was because I was traveling a lot pre-pandemic, all over the US, overseas. And the amount of time that I was spending with my family was getting less and less and less. I was putting more and more hours in. I was making great money with my job. But again, I was trading time for a paycheck, and that time I was losing from my family. And so for me, getting that time back, I'm going to go to lunch with my daughter today. I go to lunch with her a lot of days. We do breakfast in the morning sometimes. My wife and I are able to do things that I wasn't able to do before because I wasn't getting home till 7, 8 o'clock at night. That time is way more important to me than the money.
Yeah.
Getting that time back with my family is everything to me. So that really for me was the most important thing. And I also took a look at my life and said, do I really need to make X number of dollars to be happy? If I make Y and I continue to grow that Y into X, Y, Z,
Mm.
then eventually I won't have to worry about the money. It won't be a thing anymore. So for me, I reevaluated my entire life and said I can live off of this amount of money if we just make some small changes to how we're living right now to be able to go back to having all those same lifestyle changes maybe a year from now. And that's
Right.
really how I looked at it.
Oh, I love that. And I mean, freedom of choice.
Yeah.
So many people come into the challenge. I want financial freedom. I'm looking for that quick cash in, right?
Yeah.
But really, most of us are looking for freedom of choice.
Yep.
Choose who we spend our time with, what we do, when we do it, how we do it. Still being able to support ourselves, right?
Yeah, that freedom is everything, Joanne. It's I know a lot of folks who I've spoken with that are now going through the 15-day business challenge and just going through this. They said the same thing. It's like, I'm working my ass off. I'm making decent money, but I'm not spending quality time with my family, or I don't get to choose when I go on vacation or what I do each day. And I just say to them, listen, stick with this, work the plan, and you'll never worry about that again. You can do whatever the hell you want. You spend 2 hours, 3 hours in the morning every day, or do it in the night, and you spend your day however the hell you want to spend it.
Right? Exactly.
Yep.
That's huge, and that's really what most people are looking for,
Yeah.
whether they realize it or not. They
Yeah,
just have to
exactly.
commit to the process.
Yeah.
And like you've mentioned a few times today, you don't have to be an expert. Sometimes people get stuck in this, I have to keep learning. There's more to learn, more to learn, more to learn. I can't post anything until I'm, the expert. But you
Yeah.
can't ever get to that place until you actually do it.
Yeah, I think a piece that I heard during the mastermind was you only have to know a little bit more than the person below you.
Exactly.
And because you're continuing to learn and become more and more proficient at this business, they're still new and where you were 2, 3 months ago or 4 months ago or a year ago. And as you're continuing to learn, you're able to provide those folks the same nuggets that you learned from others as you started to grow your business. And that for me was something that was really important too, because I was like, I know this enough to be dangerous, but I don't feel like I know enough to teach somebody else the business. But then when I was talking to folks and understanding their same challenges that I had, so I was explaining to them that I was going through the exact same thing and just to start to learn the business. And then I will provide whatever guidance I can with what I've learned, and together we can be successful. So the newbie thing, the whole thing about, imposter syndrome, that's
Mhm.
all in your own head. It really is.
Yeah. It's our own roadblock,
Yeah.
whether we realize it or not. We're
Yeah.
actually stopping ourselves.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and people love to see someone show up authentically. So when you share your journey, this is where I'm at. This is what I've already experienced. This is what I've already learned. They appreciate that. They can relate to that, and you can relate to your audience. Do you feel like that's happened with your following?
Yeah. I think, the other thing that I heard a lot was, you know, do your videos, go after your traffic, and you will find your tribe.
Mhm.
And I have found my tribe. Most of them tend to be either men or women in the very similar age range as mine. They
Right.
resonate with my message. And those folks are typically going through the exact same things that I am. They either hate their job, they want to spend more time with their family, and they're just trying to figure out a way out.
Mhm.
And this can be that way out if they just work the plan and can stay consistent with it. And that's kind of what I teach and talk about every time that I talk to somebody new is this can happen. I'm a perfect example of it. You got to follow the plan. You got to do what's explained. Dave didn't create this just for fun. He created this because he
Right.
knew it was successful. And he knew he could help people with it. And if you
Yeah.
just follow it and stay consistent with it, it'll work.
Oh, I love it, love it, love it. All right. So you are mostly on TikTok, correct?
Right now, I'm only on TikTok, but I am breaking into Pinterest and Instagram. And I started my Facebook channel. I'm starting to slowly bring people into my Facebook channel. But I've been doing a lot of just one-on-one talks with folks through DMs.
Ah,
Yeah.
all right. So that's been an important piece of your follow-up. So talk to us, how do you warm up your cold prospect that just saw your video for the first time, to where they end up taking action? Are you going live? What are you doing with that? Or is it only in the DMs?
So what I do is typically through I follow up directly with every comment that comes through when I do a TikTok video. And then what I explain in my link tree, I actually have my email, and I tell people just email me. That's the easiest way. And they emailed me direct at my email address. And then I start the communication there, and then I schedule a call with them through Calendly. And utilizing Calendly, I set my schedule with calls, and then I actually just do real calls with people, and I just walk them through, and I explain to them what's going on, and I hear what their situation is. And that's really how I nurture those folks. I have my Aweber account, and I nurture people continuously through that. But for me, I'm a people person, so I like to talk to people, and I feel like it's really powerful to have that conversation.
Oh, okay. I love that. That's a huge golden nugget. So you know what your strength is.
Yeah.
So you've added that piece essentially to your funnel,
I did.
right?
Yeah.
And because it's something you love, that's something you're good at, and that helps you convert members. And it's really important that even though you have the blueprint, you found a little piece that, you're like, you know what, I can add this little step in that I'm good at. That's something that you can add to it. I know a lot of people don't necessarily do phone calls.
Yeah.
But if someone's good on the phone, they love having that conversation, it's definitely a great option to add in. So I love that. That's
Yeah, I
perfect.
mean, I think one of the things that I had heard, again, I think through the mastermind, somebody who was speaking, um, I think it was the couple that was there. I can't remember their name, Megan and Ryan, I believe it was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ryan's on the comments right now.
Yeah, he talked about how, the power is in the DMs and in getting, one-on-one with folks. And to me, that was, again, another nugget that I took out of mastermind that just said, I got to be talking to these folks. It's something I've done for 20 plus years on the phone with people. And I do it either through a phone call or even a Zoom where I see them face to face and I talk to them. Again, really powerful. And I know a lot of people don't want to do that because they feel like it's time consuming. You got a lot of tire kickers, but I can assure you that most people who are reacting to this have an agenda and they want to do something with their lives. And this is a way for them to get out of that grind that they're trying to get away from. So having that conversation with them, that letting them know that you're a real person who went through the exact same thing that they did, and that you're no different than them, except for that you've applied the principles and are consistently working them.
Wow, that's huge. It's just not something magical. You just have to decide to take action.
Yep.
Right?
That's it. Take action.
That's it.
Massive action equals massive results.
Oh, I love that. Massive action equals massive results. I hope everyone that's watching is listening to that. Maybe pin it up, write it on a board somewhere, write it down, put it on your phone screen to look and see every day, because that's huge. I think that's really the biggest hole is people want, but they're not willing to do.
That's it. It's the do.
It's the
It's
do
that
all day
do.
long.
And I don't know where I heard this, but and the reason I left my full-time job is because I was always told, in order to make a business of your own successful, you have to burn the bridges. And some of those bridges are people in your life that tell you you can't do it and tell you you don't know anything about TikTok. You have to burn some of those bridges. But for me, the bridge was, there was no way I could do this business and really commit to it while I was working 50+ hours a week. It was just, for me, it was no way. And that's why I reevaluated my life and figured out, what do I really need? And can I live for 3 or 4 months before I start receiving commissions? Some people can do that. Some people can't. But burning that bridge for me allowed me to focus 100% of my time on this business. And so that's why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Wow, I love that. And really identifying what's the bridge you need to burn.
Exactly.
It doesn't mean, and sometimes it's friends and family, right? But it doesn't mean, to stop talking to them,
Right.
but drawing clear boundaries even with them.
Yep.
right? Of
Yeah.
what you allow those conversations to be. And they don't get an opinion of
Yeah,
what you're
sometimes
passionate.
the burning of that bridge is just to not listen to the negativity, because then once your videos start doing well, I hit 10,000 followers on TikTok, I think in my first 60 less, almost 60 days. And my daughter was like, Dad, you hit 10,000 followers already? I'm like, yeah. And that was like, oh my God, okay, wait, he's doing something right. And then my wife was like, started seeing commissions come in, and they started getting deposited into our account, and we're like, yeah, okay, this business can actually work.
Yeah.
And those naysayers will come around, whether they're family or friends. Um, but you just have to be able to shut them off while you're focusing on the business.
Right. I
Yeah.
think even Dave last week said opinions switch once they see the money.
It's very true.
Right?
That's 100%
Suddenly they
right.
see cash and they're like, oh, this is great. This is fantastic. But
Keep
until
doing
they
it.
see it, they're not going to support you. So don't share that part.
Yeah. Yeah,
There's no
exactly.
point, right?
Yeah.
They're going to just stop you. Stop that part of your journey.
Right.
So Jason shared the enemy is in my head in the comments. What's your piece of advice for Jason and anyone feeling like their biggest enemy is themselves and it's in
Yeah.
their head?
Yeah. Yeah. My advice to that is, again, get out of your own way and realize that if you just stay consistent with this business, put your head down and do what you're trained to do based on the training that we have, it will work. The process does work. It takes time. It doesn't happen immediately, but if you just keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it, next thing you know, you got people in the 15-day business challenge, and then you've got people buying the blueprints and going to the masterminds, and it just works. It just works. And then you start to think about what other affiliate marketing programs can you take these principles and apply them to, with a passion that you have. One of my passions is dogs, and so I've started a dog channel recommending dog products, food, treats, toys, and became an affiliate for Petco, for Amazon, and applying the same exact principles to that business because I love it.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
So when did we start that channel?
I just started that channel about 2 weeks ago, I believe.
Okay. And
Yep.
how do you feel about it? So you're applying the principles from blueprints
Yep.
to this channel. And how is that starting off and kicking off for you?
So far, so good. I mean, you start slow, just like everything. Start creating content, and I've just started creating content for it, and I've already gotten a couple small sales from it. But what it is for me, it's not so much about the money on that. Eventually, I guess it will be, but for now, it's just fun, and it's also a passion. And one of my taglines, I think, with my Facebook channel and even my TikTok is helping people turn their passions into profits. And for me, affiliate marketing is about helping people take something that they really enjoy and turning it into money. And the first part of that is legendary and understanding the business. And if you want to help other people, if that's a passion for you, you do that through legendary. But if you have other passions, there's a million different types of things that you can be an affiliate marketer for. Just
Exactly.
find a niche that's a passion of yours and go after it.
Right? Just take your education, follow the blueprint, the
Yep.
plan, and apply it to whatever you're passionate
Whatever you're
about and
passionate
excited
about.
about, right?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I love it. And you're
Yeah.
a perfect example, such an inspiration that you can do this. This isn't about promoting legendary after you go through the education. This is about changing your life,
Changing
starting
your life.
a business that you're
Yeah.
proud of, that you're excited about.
Yeah, I
And
think Dave says it all the time on these.
Mhm.
You don't have to promote legendary. He would love it, and it's great because it's a high ticket affiliate program, and it really does work. But you don't have to use these principles just to promote legendary. You
Right?
can find a passion, you have your niche, and use the exact same principles with that niche and go after that business as well. You can do both, or you can just do one. It's completely up to people to decide on their own. But the principles work on any passion.
Exactly. Well, oh, I love it. This was a lot of golden nuggets on a Monday morning.
Well, good. I'm glad.
I think anybody watching needs to probably go back and rewatch this one. This was great. Thank you so much for coming today, Leo.
My pleasure. Thank
Loved
you.
having you on. If you would like to follow Leo, and I highly recommend that you do, this is his TikTok handle, Leo Joseph Recommends.
Yep.
So
Yep.
Leo, LeoJosephs recommends, RECOMMENDS, in case you're listening on the podcast right now.
Yep.
But definitely go give Leo a follow. Comment on his videos, let him know that you saw him on Wake Up Legendary, open up that conversation, see how he's looking at what others are doing, but making it his own, adding his own twist, his own spin, and really making it unique and authentic to himself. And that's why he's connecting with his audience. So definitely go check it out and give him a follow.
Awesome.
Yeah. So thank you so much for coming on today.
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Be legendary. And thank you so much. I appreciate it, Joanne.
Yeah, definitely. All right. I hope everyone has a wonderful Monday and a wonderful Valentine's Day. Dave will be back with us with tomorrow's guest for another episode of Wake Up Legendary. Hope you had your notebook. If not, go back, take some notes from this episode because Leo dropped a lot of gold for you to apply. Have a great day and stay legendary, everybody. Bye.